It is the Tarot card reader type hailing all the way back from the days of Medarot 4. It is TRT00 Distiny, with a kit of Shoot Boost, Evade Seal, Defense Seal, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Illusion, which adds the stealth effect to self when charging Metaforce. Now, Distiny makes it very clear right from the start that she is not a combat fighter by any and all means. Her primary role in battle is strictly support-oriented, irritations and passive aggression, for lack of a better term. Shoot Boost is a standard support skill that grants a buff to all shooting-based skills across the team build. This does thankfully include Destiny's skills herself, as they also are both shooting attacks. Defense and Evade Seal are very simple ailment-based attacks that prevent the opposing target from defending or evading respectfully, guaranteeing that hits will either land or guaranteed to be critical hits if the hit does land. Float Legs across the board also are very good, as they have A rank on all terrains, S on Cyber, of course, and across the board, Destiny is also kind of, I guess the word I can use is kind of fragile in this case. The head and legs, the head itself at about 3150 HP is pretty solid overall. Legs at about 3200 is pretty nice, especially for a float leg. That's kind of par for the course. But the legs at about the arms at about 2700 each does kind of make them a little squishy overall. But then again, Defense and Evade Seal really weren't meant to be really highly armored. More along the lines of it's a one and done thing, and if it does its job, great. Then you really don't have to mess with it any further. Unfortunately, for that reason, that does kind of hurt Destiny's overall viability, but only to a degree, because Evade Seal and Defense Seal both can actually be stacked on top of each other, essentially making a two-turn deathlock if bots like Moondragon, Yogg Spider, or Titan Beetle, or even Metal Eater are not available to you, or you just started playing and perhaps missed them. Let's see. Across the board as well, success stat across the board for both arms is pretty nice at about 1413 and 1320 for both arms. So dodging hits is going to be something she really doesn't have to worry about when it comes to attacking targets. However, because again, Evade and Defense Seal are not designed to be dealing a lot of damage, if you are going to use Destiny for anything, do not use her for any particular and dedicated offense roles. As a pure set score, I would rate her a relatively solid 6.5 out of 10, I suppose. Again, I will say across the board, she is pretty solid for what she does best, as long as she is not in a primary role for attacking. But if in the case she does end up having to do so, say for instance the nuker went down, or she has to buy a couple turns for a healer to revive the nuker, Destiny between Evade Seal and Defense Seal can guarantee each hit will hurt, but she will not be doing a bunch of damage even if hits are guaranteed to hit or crit. However, with the legs in particular, I am going to touch on those briefly. The evade stat of 1297 is honestly really nice, especially with it being a float leg, so you are going to have good terrain balance on all terrains and a very high probability of dodging a pretty fair amount of attacks, as long as you're not in a no defend or no evade status, say for instance from a cooldown or inflicted with deathlock or wave or hold or something of the like. Shoot resist of 1099 also is pretty solid. A melee resist of 583 is a little on the fragile side though, so going off against anyone with a melee oriented kit is probably going to be more detrimental to Destiny than meets the eye. As a mixed parts, however, I would rate her a little higher at a 7 out of 10, strictly for the fact that both Defense Seal and Evade Seal both actually can be very useful and very, very dangerous if you use them correctly. However, Destiny as a pure set unfortunately does not have that oomph behind the ailments that she offers to really comp them by herself. So if you are going to use Destiny for anything, perhaps maybe spreading the arms across the team if for a mono female team, or perhaps just using one of them will probably suit the needs much better than using Destiny as a pure set.